What's up, guys? It's Manu here for the Frost Battle League Legendary Season 10 Power Rankings, and today I'm also joined again by Wagon Fruit
Hey guys, I'm Wagon Fruit.
and, of course, Phonytail.
Awful intro, really bad. But hello, I'm Ponytail. Oh my god.
What the actual fuck was that?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Was that Finley?
I was just team, and I apologize. No, it was angry Minot.
Oh, I didn't even.
Finley's muted.
Damn.
Alright, but let's just get into it. At number 16, we have Kanto Yellow and the Sydney Snorlax. It's the. What page is this? SYS.
SYS.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh god.
I'm not gonna start with this. I don't know what to say about it.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 24 points is a wank ton of points to spend on an Annihilate, and then the team is slow as balls. Really, it's just so slow.
Yeah,
it's
you just
unbelievably slow.
you
But
just
he has
forgot
webs and
where you
Annihilate.
just forgot to get speed. So if the webs
Yeah.
if the webs don't end up working out in the matchup, it's terrible.
Your only mon above 100 isn't even good. It's terrainless Iron Leaves. I don't know what he could do.
Yeah,
It's like-
that's really like grasping at straws there.
So it's like live by the webs, die by the webs. And I think you just put boots on him on, and then the webs don't work, and then you lose.
The offense here is good, but it's just like Hydreigon and Mamoswine are generally really good, but it just lacks the speed to really do anything. So when Mon with like a high base speed gets going, you're just gonna lose.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of good scarfers. Like Sludge is a good scarfer, Hydreigon's a good scarfer, and Hoop is a really good scarfer as a Terra Captain. So like you have that, but like that makes your team kind of telegraphed anyway.
Yeah.
I think if your opponent knows your Pokemon is scarfed, that's like a huge disadvantage for you. And they're gonna know basically just on team preview.
Yeah, I will say I do like the defensive core on the team though. Like Florges, Pex, and Heatran is pretty good.
Well, I think Pex is garbage.
Is it free Pokemon that died to Earthquake?
That's true. I
That
guess
is
there's
true.
Vikavolt as well, but Vikavolt doesn't get Roost anymore, so it's pretty shit defensively.
Well,
Yeah,
Iron,
and it's
Iron
also-
Leaves has to come every game.
Yeah.
Or he has no speed, so
And
I-
that's sad.
I guess that's a given Earthquake resist.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah,
80
overall, I
defense.
would make some trades if I were you to like get some more speed, because otherwise you're gonna struggle like all season, and that's not what you want.
Yeah, the only priority is like Mammo Shard as well. So there's like really nothing saving you. You need to run
Yep.
like 2 Scarfers all the time, and it sucks. The pivoting is also like just okay, which is probably not good enough for the kind of team that this was trying to be and how little speed you have. So keeping the momentum is going to be tough, which is a horrible trait to have when you're this slow.
Yeah, I think it's just all gonna ride on, and even like more so than the mythical one, it's like just all if Annihilate can sweep or not. And I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be difficult.
Yeah, that's gonna be the main thing. That and I have Hats to Run Scarf, which is a good set, but it's the same set all the time. And then you're also probably gonna have to run like Scarf Hydra too. It's not gonna be that fun.
All
The
right.
Genie Squad?
Yep. Moving on to number 15, we have Eris Pink, which is the 902 page on the doc.
902, interesting.
I think it kind of speaks for itself why this is this low. But drafting Landorus, Thunderous, Tornadus is fun, and I'll give him respect for that. But yeah, it doesn't really make for a great team.
Yes.
And even though he tried to salvage it in the like next few picks, it's still the top 3 mons are basically not going to be able to really do much together.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think this should be like 16th. I think it loses to Terra Ice Plusle. I don't think there's anything like I don't know. Like it's just nothing. Like it's just another.
Hey,
spot.
no, Scizor is cleaning that up every day.
Scissor's not cleaning that up.
What?
You just switch into anything.
For the record, Eris, I put your team not at last, and they did.
Yeah, he believes in the vision.
I believe
and
it
that's
more than
respectable.
they do. I think
There's
you
some-
actually do have a lot of tools here, despite it being the first 3 rounds. There's a lot of breaking power as well. Like progress is never going to be an issue with this team. So if you can somehow find a build that out offenses your opponent, you'll actually be able to win.
I think a lot of the Pokemon here are really good value. Primarina is really good value. Glamora is really good value. Crawdon's insane value for 6. That's so much pressure for like a 6-pointer to give out. Chandeler's fun as a Terra Captain. I'm really curious to see how it'll go. And then Como is like a decent Pokemon on its own.
Como is
Actually used
decent. I
Air
think the-
Chandler last season, and it was pretty good, but like really doesn't afford to run like Terra that much. Like usually you just run Terra Fire because it two-shots everything in the
Yeah, that sounds funny.
Right. Yeah,
I just
story
changed
of
the Terra
Gen 9.
captains. I think 20i is like a good Terra captain. I think Lando. I'd love to see what Lando Incarnate could do with Terra. I think Thunderous Incarnate was coming every week anyway, so I don't know if it's like
15
it's also
points.
your like only speed, so it's gonna come every single game and it has to do so much.
Honestly,
just
though,
rough.
I think base Thundy is not really that good, especially for the points it was at. So it being
Base
Terra
Thundy
does
I?
save it. Yeah, Thundy, yeah.
I think base Fundy is pretty good.
It's okay.
It's one of my
I don't
favorite
think I don't think I would ever use it without Terra though.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
I think its
I've
output.
had good results with it, but maybe in Gen 9, maybe not as good.
I think its output
Yeah, true.
is too like just not enough. It stabs or its
That's
only
true.
stab is electric, which has an immunity. So it's like
Well, you can
having-
run physical too. It has 115 base attack and defiance.
Yeah,
like,
but that's
I
not
don't
why
know.
I'm drafting a Thunderous.
That's why I'm
He
drafting
has-
a Thunder.
he has
for the
Terra
flex-
anyway,
the
so who
flexibility for the priority T-wave. Like, I don't know. Big Thunderous fan.
Yeah, same.
It's cool. I like him a lot with Terra.
Alright.
I've used it with Terra. It's good.
Me too.
I think this
So anyone else?
this team unfortunately has to rely a lot on Komo's defensive typing, which is a little bit weird.
True.
It's like it's like the only rock resist, I think, which is not great.
Well, there's Glamour, or Glamour doesn't resist rock, I think.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't. It's a rock type.
So it's like
Yeah.
there is pretty decent hazard control. So it's like stealth rock isn't gonna be horrible, but when it does get up and you can't get him off because Scissor's not running Defog and there's a good steel type to block Mortal Spin.
Yeah,
not
that's
gonna be
like
great.
I don't think it is good removal, honestly. Because like if your sizzle's clicking
it's-
defog, I think you're really sad.
I
Like
think
really sad.
I think it's good enough removal, honestly.
And then it's just Glamour, which is like so telegraphed and
Hey,
there's not like your opponent has a
actually-
lot of counterplay to it.
I forgot
Just
Chinchino has
Chinchino.
Tiny up. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, true. Yeah, no, it's still bad to me.
Whoa.
He has free remover, so it's good enough.
Well, you're just counting it based on like the amount of removers, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Well,
But like,
but I think Glamour is a quality remover.
I
Yeah.
don't think it is because I think generally you want to make use of Glamour early on in the game, and I don't think it's like I don't draft Glamour to get hazards off. I draft Glamour to get them up. And I don't know. I feel like there's
depends on-
some issues with
on the
rocks
matchup
coming up
and-
in the mid game.
Depends
Yeah, for
on
sure. But like,
How they
yeah,
how
and
they
I don't think Scizor is removal in Gen 9. I don't think you're ever clicking defog on Scizor. If my opponent brings Scizor and clicks defog, I'm like the happiest guy ever of all time. I don't know. Yeah.
I still think it can. It's obviously not good. I don't like having to click Defog ever. And if Gomorrah is hazard setting in the same matchup, then yeah, not great. But I mean, I think this team has the actual tools. I just think they're generally lower quality, and the speed is a big issue. So it's not gonna go very high on my list. I do like how many pivots it has though, and the priority is decent, so it can pull through in a lot of matchups, but it's going to be on the back foot a lot of the time.
Yep. So
What's
moving
14?
on, number 14, we have Nikki and the Connecticut Conkelders, which is a COC page on the dock.
Sweet. Cock.
Now I'm gonna start with this because I know Nikki myself. I've known him for a long time. Like, he is a stall player and he will do good with his team. Like, I already know he will, but just the fact that he didn't draft any removal makes it so bad for stall teams. So that's why we can't really put it any higher than this, unfortunately.
I put this at last. I don't even know if it's like the worst, but I did it out of principle because I think
Yeah.
I think this team like Rain is strong, and Barraskewda has proven to be insane. Wellspring is good on Rain, obviously, but I think generally this team was not well constructed at all. Having such a passive fat core on Rain and just wasting its turns and not really being able to position properly is really bad. Not having removal on Pelipper, Ogerpon, Wellspring, Barraskewda, Arcaliodon is really terrible. None of those want to be taking hazards all the time. Some of them can't avoid it realistically. Honestly, most of them can't afford to avoid it realistically because none of them want to be running boots. They all want to be running their respective best items in Rain.
Yeah. You absolutely can't. You can't run Boots Pelipper on this either. Like a lot of Rains can still run Boots Pelipper because they're very offensive. But that could just never happen when you have such a defensive and passive core of Pokemon to go into.
I mean, I think,
and yeah, I
think this team is going to have to run Boots Pelipper, and like not having Damp Rock does suck, but it can still work, like for the rain aspect, but it's not going to work nearly as well because the bulk is passive. There's not any real pivoting. I know Baton Pass, you guys, and Teleport, whatever. You guys think it's real. I do not. I don't rate it at all.
I disagree with that, but whatever.
I rate it as because if you're getting Barraskewda in for free, you're getting Barraskewda in for free. And that's why I put it 11th, because even though I think it's probably one of the worst constructed rain teams I've ever seen, it's still rain, and rain still just has like a high floor in terms of power level. Like just Barraskewda in rain, Archaludon, Terra in rain, Ogerpon in rain, and Jolteon in rain being able to just throw off thunders is like, I think that's enough to perform well. I just think this could have been like made so much better. But,
when you see the stall core, like you're gonna be running as much taunt as you can, so that's going to prevent the pivot.
Yeah, innately, yeah. So you're gonna get absolutely.
I also really hate that the Barraskewda isn't Terra. That's like the big payoff to rain, and it's not maximized.
Please
I don't. Clefable R2 also is befuddling to me. It doesn't really fit on the draft, and it's like, again, I don't want to be the biggest Clefable hater in the world, but like it can work. It can. I don't hate it on every draft.
Yeah, but Nicky's Clefable is his ace. He'll do good with it. Trust me.
I don't know. That's good for him, but
yeah, but fair. This is not ranking a player.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna struggle a lot, I think.
I would invest in a remover and also definitely make Barraskewda Terra.
Yeah, that's definitely going to improve the team most of the way, but I just hate it conceptually, so I put it last. maybe in my personal list I should have put it a little higher, just because Rain probably does have more potential than the no speed team.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
It still turned out in a decent spot, and I put it last, so I guess that's just how it goes.
All right, moving on to number 13, we have David, and his team is the Torizawa Seismics. It's a really hard name to pronounce.
Hey, like you reference.
SHS team on the dock.
SHS. Okay.
There's a Terra Hoopa Unbound, which personally looks really terrifying to me, but I've never seen it in action, so I can't really judge it.
Oh my god, I love this team so much. I think I put it decently.
Why'd I call it a Tesco's meal deal value draft? Oh, everything's below 15. Never mind. I understand what past me was cooking. Yeah, I mean.
That's crazy. I put this at 9th.
This is like 4 different gimmicks, and none of them are supported particularly well. I don't know.
His only spinner is Cyclizar, which is kind of mid.
That is not good.
This is the first ever Webs team that loses to hazard stacking, which is inexplicable. I don't know. I don't rate any Pokemon when he drafted particularly highly. Like, not a single one of them.
Yeah,
so so good.
Like Swampert, I think Swampert is the best Pokemon on the draft, which is crazy.
I also think Terra Hoopa is
it has potential.
It's pretty good,
and I'm really
especially
curious.
on the team it was drafted with.
I can't like rate it super personally, but a lot of like really good players that I respect really don't believe in Hoopa U and don't think it's like very good in Terra.
I fucking hate regular Hoopa U. I honestly kind of like Terra Hoopa though.
Terra Hoopa is definitely going to be better, but I think even with like a better defensive typing, it's still paper, is what I've generally heard. But I'm not going to go like super hard on defending that opinion when it's not my own.
Just the fact that you're not weak to U-turn is so much better.
I mean, maybe, but you're still dying to like any actual hit, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
On the physical side only.
He has hail, but then the only hail payoff is Sea Titan and Inferno. Nothing else is even capable of sweeping. Nothing else even has like a mode to do that with.
I do think the defensive score is good, but I don't know. The team just doesn't really have that much for it.
The defensive core was really good in ADV, Swampert Skarmory, but like that's Gen 9. I don't know.
There's a Hydrapple as well.
There is a Hydrapple. There's always the Hydrapple.
Yeah, it's decent for the pure concept. It still fundamentally works, but it's not really the the best for the power level of the gen.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Baxcaliburs went undrafted that you could use here. Like Greninja also went undrafted in Legendary. There's like so much you could do to make. There's so much you could do to make this like so much better. The entire. I don't think this can win without either Hooper or Sea Titan and Snow. And it's like the only two actual viable win conditions.
Yeah, Spectre is fucking undrafted in Legendary.
Yeah, like there's just so much you could pick
so
up now to be better. Yeah. I mean, even if you just want it, even if you're like memeing and you want 14 points or lower, the draft could be like way better. There's like a lot of really potent, really cheap Pokemon. I don't think you got that many of them. Hydrapple is amazing at 10, I think, but like other than that, it's like super standout in terms of value. Swampert 11 is nice, but yeah.
Also, I can see why you'd want Titan Terror, but it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword because the snow, if you Terror it into anything but ice, the snow buff goes away.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You're just using it to like get the extra bit of coverage or extra oomph that it lacks. But like Sea Titan in general just doesn't. It's not like this was viable in like pre-DLC PAL decks, and it still wasn't super amazing. It's just not that great. Sea Titan. I
still think it's okay, and
it's okay, but I mean, also Monolith's Chi Spike Swallow is still like a very defensive. There's like so many issues, unless Toxicity comes, which I don't think is like particularly good.
That's the thing. Like he has all the tools he could want, just spread out like a fucking maniac. So it's not gonna be easy to slot anything.
Yeah, and I don't think the tools are particularly good. I think they're all like cheap, kind of shitty tools.
Yeah, everything's really specific. I don't rate any of these mons particularly highly. I do think Golurk as a second ground is a well drafted Golurk at least, which is cool. Whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, it's a well drafted Golurk. I'm a Golurk fan.
I think you could easily turn this into a 9-mon team and make it 10 times better.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how many things you'd have to drop if you do that, honestly.
They have points left over, right? Surely?
I don't even know.
It's impossible that this makes...
They have 0 points left over.
How?
Because he drafted like a goat. He's just the best.
Alright, David, I love you. I love Haikyuu, and I believe in you. But just pick up like Slowking Excalibur. They're both undrafted.
There is also a horrific speed gap between 108 and 80 on this team.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, also, no, I'm sorry, this draft isn't usable. Also, other than Infernape, your speed is Alatails, which is weak, and then Ribombee, which is pretty weak.
Cyclozar, but yeah.
And Cyclozar.
Oh, and Cyclozar, yeah. But like all these guys aren't particularly good at like getting a kill other than Infernape. I don't like Infernape very much.
Titan and Snow, don't forget about that, but overall, yeah.
Everything from the speed tier...
Titan doesn't want to be like revenging really and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like killing.
Everything from the speed tier, from Enamorous to Kyurem, is running Adamant and Modest. And
I'm so excited to watch Infernape get one shot through Aurora Veil. I'm really hyped to see it. It's gonna be beautiful.
It's gonna be great.
What's next?
Alright, let's go over to number 12, which is Blue Fusion, and his team page is the ALF, ALF.
Alright, sweet.
Alf.
Yeah, you're gonna really want to go into this guy, aren't you?
Am I? I can't find him. I'm lost.
You just kept beefing with him during the draft.
Did I? He was beefing with me. I'll leave this guy alone. No, I don't. I'm not gonna.
But I do really like this team, though. I actually helped him draft a few picks of it. Like he asked me for advice. But
I guess the rounds that you helped. Did you help him round 4, round 6, and round 7?
I suggested him to get Mandalas.
Okay, well that's okay. Well, I mean, so you hate this guy more than I do. You assassinated the draft for him.
I mean, the thing is, he just asked me for opinions and stuff. But either way, I don't think Superior is a really good first round pick. Like,
no, I don't think.
Really not.
But like, he didn't even get punished for these.
At least he got
early.
He has a round 1 pick and a round 2
and he has
pick.
Enamorous as well, actually. Just
like
got lucky.
He was cooking because he just got Zamazenta and Amorous Raging Bolt. It's like the most unbelievable fucking... It's like if someone checked for that R1, R2, R3, I would still say they got pretty lucky to get that as like a Fairy Dragon Steel insane Pokemon core. But like, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. The water's gashed it up, which sucks.
This team is really
Yeah.
good defensively, what I like about it, but I think it's going to struggle a bit offensively if Zamazenta has a bad matchup.
Yeah, I mentioned that the offense is like really matchup dependent. Raging Bolt has an immunity to both of its types. It's not Terra either. Zama is pretty matchup dependent, whether or not it's really good or it's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
there was so much that wanted to Terra here, and sadly, not everything can.
Yeah, you can't even Terra Skeledurge, because then you immediately lose to the Psycho Clefable pickers who are just gonna click Moonblast 6 times and win the game. Like, it's just in a rough spot. I think you should just drop both Terra Captains and then make, like, Raging Bot a Terra Captain. I think Raging Bot is the best Terra Captain on the board for cost. Like,
For sure.
there's so much you could do to make this draft, like, really insane, because you have, the tools you have are unfucking believable. And it would only take like a few trades to make this like one of the best drafts on the board easily. Yeah, and just like a better removal, maybe a better water, different Terra Captains would be reworked. I don't think I like Mandibuzz. I'm a Mandibuzz fan, but like I don't think it offers much at all to this draft defensively. Actually,
I am not a Mandibuzz fan, as we know by now.
you do. You're a Mandibuzz hater, but even me, who does like Mandibuzz, thinks Mandibuzz is not great here.
Well, it is kind of like one of his only removers with Cryogonal, even
But
if
it's not a good remover, so I just wouldn't bother. I also don't think you particularly care about removal like that much. Like you're always booting your dirt regardless.
Well, he does have a Zama.
Likes it. Well, yeah, but Zama isn't that weak. It is immune to T-Spikes and it 4 times resists Stealth Rocks. Like, yeah, you're taking 12% on your Pokemon that wins the game, but like, eh.
I mean, I don't really I see it as this item locked thing, so they're gonna be running spikes every time versus this.
Yeah, sure, but I don't think
limit
the
its
payoff
use.
is that huge.
It's not crazy, but if you have a solid check that will make it have to come in and out to do much for the matchup, it's gonna weaken it. That's what makes it
but I think
dependent for me.
If they have a solid check, I don't know why Zama's coming out early. Like, if they have, like, a Uniclus or a Crosmer, I wouldn't be trying to utilize Zamazenta early.
To potentially force a recover to get momentum. It could definitely have that role. If it's a good check for something.
I think that works with a Spike up, anyway. I don't know. I just don't think, like, the Spike is, like, a huge deal. It's not like something like super really... That's like the... As far as issues with this draft, I would say it's like the 6th most pressing one.
It's not. But that is just a thing that Zama can't avoid, so people should be running spikes.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely always get up like 1 layer here, but it's just like... It doesn't like win you the game instantly. Whereas like some drafts like actually lose to Stealth Rock up or T-Spike up.
Right.
Alright, enough hazard talk. Let's move on to the next person. At number 11, we have Matrix, the Toronto Raptors, TOS, which I personally ranked at 3, so I really don't agree with this, but the other two hate it.
Manu
I had
ranked
it
it
very
at 3, and I think we both ranked it at 13 or something.
I ranked it at 14.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I really believe in this team, and I think Matrix can do well with it. Like, the offense, in my opinion, is good. He has Chempao, Terraraiku, Tauros, and Ogerpon, and the defense is something I would definitely draft myself. So I'm a big fan of this team, even if it's just mono default Corviknight, which is a little downside because it is pretty stally. But I don't think it warrants putting it that low because he does have a good remover anyway.
I don't think the remover is like particularly good, and I think it contradicts with Ogerpon, which is like one of the best spike setters, really. I think Alamo is good. I think Forges is better than Sylveon. I think Glowking is great. Glowking Chien-Pao is just obviously good for so many reasons. They cover each other perfectly. Round 2 Corviknight, I'm going to go insane. And this team just has massive issues with getting kills and revenging because it kind of like it's all on Chien-Pao on Raikou. I don't think Flagon's a particular real Pokemon. Cornerstone doesn't really want to... Cornerstone like really wants to be free to do whatever. So it being pressured at all, one way or the other, is bad. And I think it being the only spike setter and also being forced to revenge so much is going to really limit its usage. And I don't believe in Taurus Blaze particularly. It's like fine, but it's just fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I will rate teams way lower if I think they're insanely passive and it's like almost borderline stall or like semi-stall. I think that's really bad in draft. Sequencing against it is going to be really easy because everything kind of has to happen the way you need it to happen, and they can plan game plans around it that you can't really control. That's just how
Absolutely,
that's just how bulk is.
Just draft, yeah.
If you're going to draft bulk, I want like fat semi-stall. I want your hazard game to be way better than this.
And your removal game too. Like everything's like so stuck on, and Chen Pao has to do so much. I don't like that your best Pokemon are so forced to do so many things because it's really going to limit your flexibility, I think. And with the additional distribution of Vacuum Wave, Chen Pao's under even more pressure now.
Which is
just like
also always coming for the Ogerpon too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, like you don't want like layered checks in this kind of thing, especially when it's like 2 out of 3 of your top 3 Pokemon in the draft. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Also,
solo ground Flygon is always going to be a negative for me.
Yeah,
especially when this is Core of Aloe. Like, they're going to be trying to spam pivoting on you, and they have a forcing one. If they have like a Thundurus, like they're going to have the easiest sequencing between pressuring Corv and Aloe like that, and if your ground is Flygon, that fucking sucks.
Corviknight here just adds a lot of pressure onto Gloking as well because it's a flying that can't beat fighting types particularly like well. And it's not amazing. It's not actually very good at beating fairies. It's good at like eating a fairy hit and then you turning out. But like Ironhead Corviknight isn't like amazing here.
Yeah, it's
you don't
so
run that.
I think you're good. Yeah, exactly. But that means how are you killing your fairies to let Chen Pao do what it wants to do? Like the really fat fairies are gonna. It's gonna be a struggle.
He's gonna have to.
Slowking's like stupid. So that's what I'm saying. Like at the start, like Slowking is like has to do so much on this draft.
Yeah, he's gonna have to somehow get Chen Pao in several times, like lots and lots of times per game, to be.
Yeah, which this draft is kind of good at, but there's also no. It's like forced onto boots. Yeah, exactly. It's like super forced onto boots because otherwise you're gonna have to defog multiple times in Gen 9, which is horrible. Yeah, it's like super forced onto boots because of how much it has to do. Like it has to be your Avenger and it has to pressure things out, or else you're just not going to get anything done. Yeah, and it's like such a momentum. Like for something so bulky, pivot into Chen Pao, claim a kill. I would just love to see a much stronger removal, like a really good spinner, like a Terrapagos. I drafted something similar to this, and I had a Terrapagos, and the Terrapagos was fucking amazing. It was so
that mon is just overall broken and good with Chen Pao.
Yeah. This is actually one of the rare cases I might prefer Sylveon to Fletchers, just because otherwise there's like no immediate pressure, and at least like something like a Specs Hydro Voice is something.
That's true, and I mean I think it works better on semi-stall. Like that's the thing that Sylveon can help you with, but that just turned the team into semi-stall. So it's
yeah, to me this is like very archetypal bulky offense. It's not particularly like creative in that regard. I wouldn't call this semi-stall. I think this is just bulky offense, blah, you know, like there's just like a lot of things it could do to make it better, and RT Corviknight is just not the way of football.
I guess that can depend on which mons you decide to bring per matchup and how you want to run them, but generally Sylveon has a hard time running more offensive sets because its speed and defense are so low.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's just a Sylveon itself problem, and I don't think the Hyper Voice are gonna be landing on the right things all the time.
Fellow Sylveon hater, let's go.
Yep, I fucking hate this mon.
No, I haven't drafted it in a long time, but it feels really worse than it ever was before.
Yeah.
In this gen. I'm a big Wish hater in this gen. Okay, but getting off topic now, let's move on to number 10, which is Galactic Empire and the Shanghai Shuppets Shah page.
Shah, where are you?
Yeah, I actually like this team, but it's just like the Terra Captain is of no use, which makes it a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Of no use.
Of no use.
If fully, I think Tink is a fine secondary Terra Captain because Terra Tinkaton super enables offensive Tinkaton sets. It makes it like actually a Pokemon that can do things. I don't know if you remember like really early on in the gen, but Terra Tinkaton was a ladder demon. respect the Tink, okay? But yeah, it probably shouldn't be the only Terra captain.
Yeah,
This draft isn't bad because I think every Pokemon, if you just look down the list, every Pokemon's a good Pokemon, and that means something. Like that's
I
good.
disagree with Regieleki. I don't think.
Disagree with Regieleki. I think it can be.
Yeah.
That was one
for
thing
sure.
without Terra, and it's putting up screens.
Honestly,
Like, what else?
I don't agree. I think a lot can.
there's things I like and dislike about Regieleki. Like if you have a matchup where you can actually use Tinkaton and Overquill to force the damage on the ground types, then
Yeah, exactly.
Eleki can do something, but at the same time, it's not actually helping the rest of the team because, I mean, your speed would otherwise be covered by Pult, Cinder, and it's so limited because it needs the ground types to be gone. So it's like, if the game plan doesn't work out the way it should, Regieleki's kind of going to be useless.
Yeah, I guess the way I see it is it's not going to come to too many games, but it's going to enable an entire different game plan and win condition for this draft, which I kind of like.
That's fair.
That can be viable, but in general, I think Regieleki is not a team player here, and it's just going to be benefiting off of you playing decently versus the ground type, and that's such a risky game plan to go for.
Not to mention, it's also his only spinner. Because Cinder is core change, okay, but
True.
With Glyce,
but with Gliscor Overquill is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you're never clicking core change. I think the
you're not.
Cinderace is probably best running Bandit every time.
I love Bandit Cinderace.
Bandit
I lose
Cinder is
every end
honestly,
game with
it's-
Bandit Silverace, who's stuck into Sucker Punch, and I always get the coin flip wrong and lose. It always happens to me. But
I actually
love Bandit
recently
Cinderace.
learned Cinderace gets swords dance. I never knew that until I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
Yep.
I nearly choked to a Swords Dance with Protean normal double edge Cinderace. I nearly choked a game to that.
Yeah,
It
that
was
shit hits
insane.
hard.
It actually went so hard. Yeah, also Tinkaton is the only Dragon Resist, so if you tear it, you're gonna get outraged to death, which is concerning.
That's true. I don't even think I wrote that.
I just think you could drop like one thing, like drop like one of the good mons, and then just patch it up, make something a Terra Captain, and you'll just be in a better spot. I also don't think Slowking's particularly great here. I like Slowking Gliscor, I guess, but the Axe weakness is kind of covered okay. I think
Doesn't
you could
really have-
downgrade Slowking.
wall otherwise without Slowking.
Doesn't really have what?
Especially defensive wall. Like everything is physically
Well,
defensive.
Tink is really spit off, right?
Oh yeah, that's
It
that's
is. But it's also
Dude, we
carrying your
think
solo Dragon Resist and being Terra for some reason.
Yeah, that's why I went like downgrade Slowking so that you could get like a better primary Terra Captain, and then Tinkaton's like I don't think Tinkaton wants to be like Tinkaton's like could catch people off guard if like they're only prepping for Tinkaton, then
Yeah.
that's like really bad. It's gonna struggle to do anything.
I mean, I'm just kind of hoping that we see a Terra Steel Gigaton Hammer spam from
I'd
this thing.
love a Terra Steel Gigaton Hammer. That would make me very happy.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see from this Tinkaton. If it has to run a different defensive typing, then it's putting a hole somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's like just the general problem with Tinkaton is it was put here as a decent glue piece, but now it's Terra. Like what's happening?
I love Slitherwing. I like how bulky the team is in general too, because I think Tinkaton can benefit off that. And you can run like Mirror Herb, Tinkaton, and Terra, and it's faster than like the thing that click Dragon Dance and can kill the whole team. Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
That would be
But
really
yeah.
funny.
It's okay.
Yeah, I just prefer this Terra on either Gliscor or Shaman. I think that would be way better.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or even Slitherwing.
I'd like to keep it Terra and put on Gliscor or Shaman would be my like.
I just don't think you ever really need Tinkaton to be Terra.
You don't need
it can
it.
do a
Terra Electric
couple
Tank is
things.
really
but-
good for breaking waters. Just breaking the Gigaton resist is really useful, which you otherwise can't do because that's piss baby.
Right. Sure.
But yeah, I put it like exactly 8 out of 16. I think it's like the definition of just fine.
I think I put it at 10. Did I?
I put it at.
I put
12.
it at 10. Yeah.
12, damn.
12. Yeah, 12 is a bit low for me. It still has a really high general quality of mon for me, which is great.
Round 8 Cinderace really saved it. To be honest.
It so did. It actually saved the whole fucking draft. It's crazy.
All right, let's move on to number 9, which is Styron, someone who has been in the FBL since season 1. Really like this guy, and it's like his signature move is drafting Weather, so it's no surprise he drafted Sun again.
Okay.
He's my enemy.
Yeah, but I really like that. Like last time he had a rain team and had like fucking 8 water mons on it or something. So I really like that he actually went for some type diversity this time.
Well, yeah, that's
Terra,
just kind of Sun. That's
yeah,
like how you play the two different respective
Terra
rows.
Walking
Like,
Wake
yeah.
is very good, I think. I also am a big fan of Lilligant. Chiyu and Sun is fucking scary.
Mhm.
Like the first 7 months all have their like Nietzsche weather appliance, and then the last 4 are just patching holes. So I think he did a really good job at drafting this team. I don't see anything really wrong with it at first glance, but
I think I rated this one too low, to be honest.
I think I'll take a shot. I think 41. You're like Walking Awake, Chiyu, and Sun is terrifying, as you just said, but it's also 41 points for 2 Pokemon, both of which are walled by similar things, and that's like a bulky water with with utility umbrella, and I think you're gonna struggle to like actually take that out and take advantage of them. I like that Chiyu can Memento into Lilligant. I think that's really strong. Streamtail's insane. Yeah. Streamtail's insane. I don't know what Duraludon's doing really, but it's there. He's hanging out. He's having a good time. I think Cleaver's kind of mad too.
Yeah, I just think a lot of the low tiers are kind of just
100%,
not well
yeah.
picked to be. I think Killwatchel is like it's the only electric immunity, and Volt Absorb is definitely valuable on Killwatchel, but it's also not Terra, so it can't be Terra Flying. Terra Blast has to click Hurricane or have no output at all, which is
I think
pretty
this
bad.
team is really knockoff weak, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it is.
Mons is only Dark Resist is fucking Quillfish and Lilligant, which both don't really want to get knocked.
And Chiyu, but also
it also doesn't
have
have removal, and it mono loses to rocks or a spike. Like
right.
Cleavor is the only removal. It's defog, and it's
Lilligant has defog as well.
Does this Yui have defog? I thought it was just regular.
It does have defog.
Yeah, Lilligant does.
Oh, okay.
I've used it like 2 times now. It does get defog.
That's still big fake.
If you're if you're running defog on it, then you're probably losing the matchup.
Yeah, I don't know.
Agree.
It's
I
like
agree, but it's worth
really
mentioning.
hunks you. Also, round 2 Ninetales was unfathomably early. Imagine if that was a Great Tusk. Like instantly, the draft is the best in the entire league.
Last season, he drafted Pelipper round 1.
I don't know. Maybe he's got PTSD for people stepping off weather, but I don't think that's like an actual viable thing people do. And even if they did, you still have Torkoal and Ninetales. I checked. Torkoal wasn't picked to this point. That wasn't like a Friday
definitely
thing.
not. Yeah.
And Great Tusk was up. So like it would just be unbelievably good with Great Tusk.
Yeah,
it would just
really
instantly catapult it to like the best team.
I think he could have waited with Ninetales easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Sun's just matchup fishing. He's gonna like make playoffs and then lose in playoffs. He's gonna go like 6-3, 5-4 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what happened last season.
Yeah, it's what every rain player does every season. I don't know. It's like the most punk shit of all time. I don't get it myself, but it's very strong. Maybe. Yeah.
I usually like Ninetales like more than Torkoal as an individual.
Yeah, actually, same. I think here specifically is one of the few times I actually way prefer Torkoal.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because he doesn't have a spinner.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I mean it's like that's why this is one of the few times I think Torkoal's better. Yeah, that's what we were saying. But like usually Ninetales is very much going to be better on the drafts, but this time not so much. I don't know. It's just weather. It's just he's gonna do well in regular season, losing playoffs to one of the good players.
And a lot of boots, I think, because if he gets rocks up, he's kind of done for.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just not amazing. I don't know.
I know Arboliva gets Harvest, but I also think it's going to be doing absolutely nothing on this team. And it's like never gonna come.
That's amazing. I just looked that up. I was like, wait, does the Harvest do something funky and Sun? Like, yeah, that's funny.
It's funny, but I don't think it's gonna do anything.
I don't know why Quillfish is the Terra Captain of Believer then. You could do something really funny with that.
Terra would be so good on this team.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
That would make way more sense to me.
Doesn't want a Terra anyway. I don't know why it's Terra. It's just
drop the Duraludon and make Arboliva Terra instead of Quillfish.
Like, drop the Duraludon, drop the Farigiraf, get a good spinner.
Yep.
And get a good
and you're happy. Beg, PayPal, DM the guy who your PayPal for Great Tusk, and it's just going to be unbelievable. It's really good. Yeah, like this draft could be like way better, but
it's still
Sun. It's still going to do well. You know, he's never going to miss playoffs with this in his entire life.
It has holes that he can easily patch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think a good player is going to beat this, and a bad player is going to get completely destroyed by it. Like
something like that.
Absolutely.
Just the way weather goes.
True.
All right, so let's move on to number 8, which is Nico, the T page on the dock.
The T, yep.
The England Ampros. It's literally tea. The drink. Yeah, I really like this team. Like the first 5 picks are really good together. Even their comfy is also very scary. Like it's just a good team in my opinion. It has removal, it has good hazards. Defensive is the defense is okay. The offense is really good. Yeah, I don't really know why this is this low actually.
I put it at 8.
I put it-
Where are we right now in the list?
We are at number 8. Yeah, number
Hey,
8. So
let's
you got it
go.
right.
I
I put him at number 9.
just fucking hate Registeel. I think that mon is garbage.
Base.
That mon is not doing it. Its move
Yeah,
pool is
Mouse-
fucked. It's
Mouse was a
terrible.
shit Pokemon.
Like, so I think this is the most like B tier draft of all time. I don't think any mon is like no Pokemon is amazing here. I think Arceus
fair.
and Comfy Terra are like the 2 big standouts, and 20 is like decent. Heartflame's decent. Slowbro's Donphan's Registeel is pretty mediocre. Dragalge I love in general. I like that Mouse. I think it's cute that Mousehold's paired with so many knockers, but like, it's just still
I
Mousehold.
think Mousehold was well drafted here.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree. Yeah, rare good Mousehold draft. Comfy got knocked too, I think, which is nice.
did.
I like that you
Yep.
drafted Arceus and then a lot of knockers. A lot of Pokemon incidentally have knockoff. I think
I
that's
will
cute.
say-
And Terra Comfy is so scary. It's such a demon.
I
Oh
will
my
say,
god.
big issue for me with this team is that below Urshifu, everything is like base 50 speed. So anything under Urshifu can just run Adam and Remodest or whatever.
Yep. That's definitely gonna be.
That's really gonna
Is Donphan 50 or
It is.
60?
It is
50.
50.
Damn,
That's gonna be
Donphan.
bad,
50,
especially
really.
because the bulk, while not totally passive. I mean, Registeel is not totally passive. It's still really slow and has no pivoting. So taking hits, being on the back foot with this team is gonna be absolutely terrible. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, that's true. The only pivots are the Pokemon that you like want to be in on. Like, yeah.
Right.
And then the passive shit that you want to get out of just doesn't have any pivot at all. Dragalge can eject Pack Draco like really well, but other than that, it's pretty.
Yeah, it does have flip turn, so Dragalge is good, but it's also
Yeah, I love
kind of
Dragalge. Yeah.
it's also kind of holding together the special offense because Comfey's kind of weak normally, and Torn doesn't hit like really hard base. So
I think Torn is pretty hard base, isn't it?
it's
Like
not-
110 bleak wins. I guess if it's not a flying resist, yeah.
it's okay. Like Dragalge kind of wants to be clicking its buttons here and not flip turn because it is
Yeah,
it is
exactly,
like
yeah.
one of the payoffs. So
Exactly, yeah, 100%.
it having
I love-
pivoting
yeah.
isn't like a big bonus for me.
Yeah, just better like bulky dudes would be good. I like Donphan, I guess. It's like probably the best spinner that's still up, I assume.
Yeah.
But like Slowbro could be Slowbro being the same price as Blastoise is crazy.
That is crazy.
I don't know. It just isn't gonna do too much. Also, Slowbro and Registeel kind of like they can both do the Iron Defense Body Press thing, so I don't know why you have both of them anyway. Like, yeah, just make Registeel just something else.
Registeel's
Durant,
like
never
pivotal
loaded.
here. It's like one of 2 rockers. The other one's Donphan, which wants to spin for a Hearthflame. So it's gonna make Donphan have move slot syndrome. So like Registeel being a Registeel is a huge downside for me because it's terrible and it needs to come a lot. And that's gonna suck. Real
Yeah,
bad.
Gen 9 Registeel, I think you'll be really disappointed with. I think Nat Dex Registeel is kind of real. I don't know why it gets toxic. I hate early gens, but yeah, it's just in Paldex, Registeel is like a really passive fuck, and it can't do too much.
Yeah, it
and-
doesn't have toxic. It doesn't have seismic toss. It's
Yeah,
really bad.
it doesn't have seismic toss.
It lost
oh,
seismic
no!
toss. It's a horrible.
I only
Pokemon.
knew about. Oh no! Yeah, so you just Iron Defense Body Pressing or Iron Heading any Pokemon that doesn't
Yep.
immediately drop to that.
Iron
Like,
heading. Clicking the
completely
move
destroy
Iron head
it.
with a Registeel. Not fun.
Yep. No, 75 base attack, not great, not ideal. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here. I think without that, but it's like still a decent Pokemon. It's like a decent draft. It's just not enough high quality stuff for me to like really. The ceiling's pretty low
Yeah, that's where
for
I'm
me.
at.
So yeah.
All right, let's move on to number 7, Afonso, the SLB page.
SLB.
It's I actually really like this team personally. It's just like the fucking Twaki and Dugong are kind of useless. Sereni is the only spinner, but the first 4 mons actually are really good to pair together. Like Latios Kangambit is really scary. Sneasler does have terrain support, so it's useful here.
Oh
Inam
yeah,
is also
I actually
good.
really like
Yeah.
this one. I put it at 4.
I put it at 6 myself.
I can't find it.
You put it really
What's it
low.
called again?
The Sport Lisbon Blazekins, Afonso.
Ponzo. Where's my guy? Oh, here we go. What did I put this at? 10th? Yeah, another fucking Sneasel Wacky. Why? Just draft. Really? It's okay. We're good.
I am glad it's
yeah.
not the only grass though, because there is Serena for spin, which is like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they just could be a real.
It
That's
could be
the
a
only
little bit. You're right.
You have 2 mono grass Pokemon. Do you know how bad that is? Do you know how dog shit the grass type is? Like.
Well, he
I
needed a
don't know.
remover. I just think he didn't plan on drafting Thwacky or something. I don't really know. But
How can you not plan on drafting Thwacky when you have like
I don't know.
Sneasler? I don't think that's true. There's Enam Turtle, and I think Enam Turtle with Terra is a bad Pokemon, so you can imagine how much I hate it about Terra. Like, it's just horrible. And Shocks is cool, Latios is cool, but it's 24 points, which is a lot. Sneasler is crazy. It's an unbelievable Pokemon, but it's not supported particularly well.
It's really good. I think it's got the same strengths here as the other team in Mythical, where it can kind of just use its forcing presence to get in Latios and Sandy Shocks, both of which are Terra on a U-turn, and it's just really free. I think a big problem for me was Shocks is the only source of hazard removal, and it's a Terra captain, so it's kind of it's not gonna be wanting to Terra like ever, which is maybe
Shocks
okay.
gets removal, yeah.
Well, not removal. Sorry, it's only a source of hazards. Is that what?
Okay.
Did I say?
I was
removal?
like, is Shocks spin? Oh my god.
Tauros
Yeah.
get rocks. I'm pretty sure it
I
does.
thought I had learned something.
Tauros does not get rocks. King Gambit does, but doesn't want to run it.
Oh,
Tauros of rocks? Is that some Nitex shit?
I feel like the regular Tauros used to get rocks. Maybe it lost.
No,
Probably
it
used to.
never.
Probably used to
It
get
never got
Really,
rocks.
never? Oh my god, a bold claim.
You are smoking,
Rip.
my friend.
I
I'm
wouldn't have
smoking.
been shocked. No, it didn't get rocks ever, yeah. He's lost it.
Fair. I do like it. I do like the momentum on this team though. Like he has a lot of Flipturn Latios, U-turn Sneasler, Shocks, Serena, Rotom, Vaporeon, even Thwacky. Like he has a lot of pivots which can get in his 4 big, really scary threats pretty easily.
Yep.
24-point
Definitely.
Latios clicking flip turn is gonna be a thing of beauty. Yeah, I agree. Kind of like Vaporeon. Yeah. There's a lot of pivot to get out of the bad Pokemon into the
You
good
can do
Pokemon,
Gongas
but I would
for
rather
sure.
just draft good Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't like that Rotom. He's the only fairy resist. That's pretty bad.
That's fair.
That is definitely a negative. But overall,
Uh,
I do like the pieces here. I put it at 4, like pretty high. So
4 is just that's like so high.
I
I feel like he burned so many points. I feel like Rillaboom could have been R2'd, and then it's like and a lethal draft as well.
I think it's
Like-
it's very easy for him to not fall behind because of all the pivots here, and his first 4 picks are just so scary offensively that I think if he has a good matchup, it's pretty impossible for him to lose.
also
Yeah, I guess, but
shout out to Healing Wish over to Gambit. That is some demon shit. I've fought it.
That's
Last time I fought a Gambit, it made me want to cry.
That's very true.
yeah, Enamorous Turtle's best usage is ending its own life and bringing in a good Pokemon.
And this time it's not even Terra, so it's not forced to try to do something on its own.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
it could have been. I don't know. It's like so many ways this could be improved. It's not like horrible. I put it 10th, but it's not. Like
Yeah,
great.
it has its little flaws here and there.
Fourth is like insanely high for me though.
I think that was
Double grass, just
I think that was
biggest
also a cause of seeing glaring weaknesses in all the other teams.
What did I put above it? I don't remember.
I just put it at A. I think I put like only a couple others at A, and then that's why it like kind of auto went above a bunch of stuff. But
That's fair.
I do think there's a lot of really good tools here. It's just gonna be a little bit straining in the builder. But it's
All
fine.
right. Let's move on to number 6. We have Batman, the something Regirox, Raleigh Regirox, RAR page on the dock.
RAR.
This is a team we discussed earlier. Like I said, his only rockers are Smeargle, Avalok, and Sandslash, which are horrible and you're never gonna bring probably.
Yeah.
And the only removal is same issue, only Avalok and Sandslash. But other than that, the first 7 picks are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean I disagree on Fez obviously, but other than that, yeah.
And they're a hobby
Pretty
shot
big.
in the fucking terrain as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. He drafted like an Unburden Wincon and then put a Rillaboom on the team in a shocking twist of innovation.
Hey, he
And,
took the Rilla from the other guy. What are you gonna do?
No, he didn't. He could have R2'd King Amber. He could have taken it. That's what I'm saying.
But then this team would be
yeah.
bad. Double-edged sword.
Well, no, it wouldn't be bad because he would have been able to pivot off of terrain very easily because his payoff
True.
is like right at the bottom.
True.
I do think Gujar Hates with Rillaboom is kind of crazy. Fezandipity is really crazy. It's like grassy terrain. There's so many grassy terrain payoffs here. It's like unbelievable. Volk loves grassy terrain. Fezandipity loves it. Iron Hands loves it. Gujar loves it. It's really crazy. And it really, really supports. Like, he just drafted like 2 of the best responses to ground types in Rillaboom and Latias. And then 8 different Pokemon that just really benefit from that. I do think it should have been 1 less of those. And then he just should have killed his Darling and then gone like a really consistent spinner and a better ground. Like with a Donphan or something, I think this draft is just immediately incredible. I think it's really cool. I think it's really scary. It looks fun. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to watch this team. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. I think it's going to be pretty offensively based, pretty tempo based. Like Fezandipity is like just going to come in, eat a hit, U-turn out, maybe get a Toxic, go into a big threat.
Yeah, I can't really speak too much on the flaws because a lot of them, for me, thread from a similar idea that a lot of this team is really reliant on Fezandipity's typing and tools, and I don't think Fez is good.
Hate Fezandipity, yeah.
So I can't really, I can't really speak on how that really makes the draft worse for me. But if that weren't the case, I would rate it really high. It fundamentally is fine. It's good. That's all I got. Alright.
I'm also finished, so let's move on to number 5 then. Phagos, which is the PHM page, Phoenix Moltres. I am a big fan of the Darkrai Golden Go combination. This team is just really good in general. Like, there's not a single bad mon on the team, which I really like.
Milo's bad.
I like Milo, but whatever.
Bad.
For 12, it's a lot. I don't think Milo is bad, but 12 is a lot.
I think it's bad and it's 12. So.
All right.
You're right. I think Darkrai is a lot. 21 points for Darkrai is just a lot. I don't think the mon is worth that. I think that's like a 19-pointer, but it's really good. And also, it's backed up extremely well with Goldengo Landorus. I think that's like a really, really cute top 3 core. I don't know Figures personally, so I don't know how well they're going to be able to utilize Terra Mew. I think the skill ceiling on that Pokemon is tremendous, and the floor is pretty high as well, so it could just flop if they're not like an amazing player. But if they use the tools in this draft to their highest potential, it's going to be really good. I just wish you could have made Regidrago a Terra Captain. I think that would be like
that's true.
Really, really incredible.
I really love the combo of Darkrai Lando. I think that's probably one of the top 4 pairings with Darkrai. Just being able to 100%. Switch in on like those Scarf CCs and U-turns with like Helmet Lando and just punish them for free, like absolutely for free. It's so good.
Absolutely.
It's really, really good.
I think Goldengo could have been capitalized on a little bit harder with some kind of like just A webs or any like decent like spiker. It's kind of like, it's not bad, and Goldengo can absolutely function without the hazard bullshit. It doesn't need it at all. It's still just a really good Pokemon with tremendous typing. Right. But you know,
but it's also
there.
not being
Why
capitalized
not?
on.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. It could be a little better. You could drop some points on Milo and get a different water. I don't think that would be like a huge downgrade. God of War as well is also a little bit overpriced here. And then make Regigigas a Terra Captain, and then maybe like one of the cheaper Webbers would just give this an entirely different mode. And then you could bring in something like SD Terra Mew or Nasty Plot Terra Mew. And then Nasty Plot Goldengo is really potent in webs as well.
The only other big thing is there's no removal on this team. I kind of appreciate that there's no like cope removal. So like all the mons are
Sand Slash, exactly, yeah.
All the mons other than Milo are pretty
for sure.
Pretty valuable.
I don't think it's very hazard weak at all. You kind of can just slap boots on like a Pokemon and you're fine. Goldengo though, and Goldengo, that guy can absolutely just run Balloon and he'll be really happy. Like I think it's fine in that regard, but I just think there's like a lot of potential this draft could hit. It's just really close to being like really insane.
Yep. It's pretty good.
Indeed. So let's move on to number 4, which is the king.
The king? It's the king.
Ball.
Let's go, baby. Oh my god.
You're gonna win the season. Yeah, I think Wagon Fruit should start with this one.
I don't know.
Let's go, Wagon.
Should I just read exactly what I wrote?
I want you to
word?
read exactly what you wrote out because it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever read.
Yeah. This is after this is the last draft in the order, so I was just tired at like 11 a.m. and I was looking at this balance team, which I hate balance, but it's good. So here's my excerpt. After the top 3, which are definitely really good, I quite literally dislike every single mon drafted. I don't want to rank this. I don't even want to rank this because I understand why all these pieces were drafted and that they can work together as a solid enough balance team. But as I've said, I think drafting balance in this gen puts you at a natural disadvantage. Apart from that, all of the tools, while some important ones held solely by low tiers, are in fact there and functional. It's this fucked up perfect storm of a decent draft held together by pieces of shit, and I just have to accept it. It's a good team, just keep it the fuck away from me.
He was so angry writing that. Can you imagine typing that up in a PR? It was like 3 a.m. I was like playing Honkai. I see a notification, tab it and read that. I start laughing. Oh my, it's so funny. I was cackling.
It is pretty
Yeah, like he just drafted like the best free Pokemon on the board back to back, and then there's a Garganacl, which I think is good, and then there's a Hippo, which I think is bad.
Used by Sand.
It's like okay.
Gargan Sand is going to be fucking disgusting to
Well, it's not even going to be that disgusting because it still is the same thing it already lost to, and it's forced to Terra, and then it's taking Sandchip, which is bad, and nothing else on the draft wants to take Sandchip. Palafin is already killing itself every turn, clicking Wave Crash. Now you're accelerating that.
I can't even say anything because I just think Garg's bad. I just think it's a bad mon.
I think it's bad naturally. I think with Terra, I do think Knuckle Stack is better because they're just less likely inherently.
No way, you just said that.
That's crazy.
I do because the investment in a Knuckle Stack is what, like 2 to 4 points on average, right?
So
the investment on a Garganacl is 14 points. Every single person that's prepping against King Bob is going to see the Garganacl, and they're going to prep for Garganacl. Knuckle Stack, on the other hand, you don't want to be running a Covert Cloak for a Knuckle Stack. You get me? You're going to get the value out of the Knuckle Stack. Garganacl, it's like a toss-up constantly, and that's really sad.
Yeah, and I mean that it's not much, but it is going to also affect like Zapdos discharges and Typhlosion Infernal Parades. Those are going to get negated because you're bringing.
Oh yeah, true. Infernal Parade is so ass. It makes me so sad. Why couldn't it be 50%? It's insane. It is paired with the best knocker on the entire board, which is Roaring Moon, which is great. I love that. Yep. I also like the Breloom pick. I hate Breloom. I think it's dog shit as a Pokemon, but I really appreciate that it's being paired with Garganacl because it makes people have to choose between Safety Goggles and Covert Cloak.
Yeah, that's exactly where
which
I'm
I think is really good. Yeah, I think that's
Breloom.
Really nice.
I hate Breloom, but it makes a lot of sense here, and that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know. Guizing's a good Pokemon. Typhlosion H is, I think, really bad. I think regular Typhlosion's better just because of the extra 5 speed. Just mad changing like so many things.
Yeah.
Fortress is, I don't really like Fortress. So
yep.
Maybe it's okay.
My sentiments exactly.
I think the Alolan Raichu wasn't really necessary here either. Like you could have picked something better.
It's just filling a speed tier.
Yeah.
If you could fill a speed tier.
There's an Alola Chew?
Yep.
I cropped out the Alola Chew, so I can't actually see that. But it's looking cool. Yeah, I don't think that's coming.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Isn't a regular Raichu better than a Alola Chew off the terrain?
No.
I thought it was.
Nah.
Because I thought it got.
No,
There's a reason I thought that.
Alolan Raichu.
Oh, Lightning Rod.
Yeah, that's like the one thing. But other than that, Alola Chew is more specialized and has two stab moves that cover each other, so it's like okay. I still think both Raichus aren't very good.
That's a fast encore. Base 90 Spatak?
Yeah.
They hate Raichu.
Yeah, Alolan's is 95.
They don't want this guy to succeed. What's Pikachu's Spatak? 50?
Why does that?
If Pikachu's attack was any higher, it would actually be fucking demonic.
Yeah, I want to be demonic. If you ever played against Terra Noble Pikachu, it's hilarious.
That shit is scary, man.
Take out E-Speed, just destroys everything.
Yeah, I better see some electric terrain Zapdos in the next few weeks. I just better.
I'm not sure that's gonna come.
He is the king.
It doesn't benefit from its own terrain. I don't know.
No, you do it and then you switch to Raichu. It's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that's us.
It's an option.
I love that.
I just better see it. I just better because I hate this team, so I want cool things to happen with it. Instead of boring
wait.
yawn.
I do think getting F1 Spike is really good. What'd you say, sorry?
Does Source Surfer only work on Electric Rain?
Yeah.
Because it would be pretty cool if it worked on Misty Terrain from the Wheezing.
That would be pretty cool, but that's not the
Would be
case.
funny, yeah.
Oh well. Let's go to number 3 then, which is Jar LR or something. The Tokyo Typhlosions TOT page on the dock.
TOT. Where are you?
The
There you are.
bundle.
Charles, this guy. Oh yeah.
Bundle.
Like this-
Dude, this
A-rank.
team, this is like the coolest drafted team ever because that top 4 is fucking really, really strong. Like probably the strongest top 4 I've seen. And then he got like a bunch of weird low mid tiers that do support the top 4.
Yeah, I think they're all value, all good value. There's all
Yeah.
Pokemon I believe in, with the exception of Dachboon, which I think is not a good Pokemon. He's there, he's hanging out. Yeah, I don't understand why he even exists.
I do like the Pincurchin pick with his fucking 3 Iron Mons. I think if he brings it, it'll be like suddenly like the offense will be really overwhelming.
Yeah, I love it personally because it made Sam Sturgeon Stories really angry, and he was ranting to me about it in chat. And I think that was the funniest thing. He was like, "Dude, my Jefferson player loved up Pincurchin." I was like, "Okay."
That's not a good sign.
That's not,
I know, yeah. It's like that Iron Man thing.
Yeah, I'm glad Pincurchin was 3 points and not like 6 or something like on other boards.
Yeah, it shouldn't
just
be
a
taxed
shit
too
one.
much. But I think Crown is amazing value for 9. It was the Pokemon I really had my eye on. I think it's really good. Moth is amazing as a Terra Captain. 10 extra points to make it a Terra Captain is rough because I think 13-point Moth is like really high value. So I'm not totally sure how I feel about that. Like, it's good, but like this could be 10 other points, which is a lot for just a Terra.
That's true.
Especially when Mence really likes Terra and really benefits from that. I think it probably could have been spent in better ways. But hey, you know, every Pokemon here is good other than Dachboon. And yep, especially him on top, which is a really, really good spinner.
Yeah, and then that combined with Hatterene makes the Hazard game not super linear, and it's just gonna fuck up your Terra Caps and bundle.
Yeah, and you have a Tinglu, so you're just happy. Like,
Yep.
yeah, Dunsparce is funny. Sinistcha's kind of crazy for 6, honestly.
It is. Yeah, I've seen that thing put in way too much work sometimes.
Yeah, so there are matchups where Sinistcha, holy shit, it's just unkillable.
It's
Oh
also
my God.
really good into the Dawn fans, so it's a really good spin blocker for Tinglu.
Hey, I didn't think about that. That's true.
Yep.
And Blastoise. Kind of cracked that. And Terrapagos, kind of.
Wow.
Not so much
Maybe.
there, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. But, you know, you can Leech Seed. You can, maybe. I don't think that's Leech Seed.
Yeah, I actually put this one at 2. Like, I thought this one was really good.
That's fair. I put it at A rank. I think all the A ranks are interchangeable.
Fair enough. Yeah,
And yeah,
I did the same.
it doesn't get Leech Seed.
No, I get Sunspore though.
That's great.
Sunspore is really good on it.
Strength's that most broken ass move.
I got into an argument with someone in a lower div because they said it shouldn't get Scald, and it's literally like a scalding cup of tea. It's like, it should
get
definitely get
Scald.
Scald.
But it's,
So-
it's the signature
That
move.
makes so much sense.
All right.
yeah.
Have anything left to say?
No,
not for me.
should
I
get
just love
Scald.
it. I just love this team.
All
Kinda-
right. Then
Sure,
we'll
okay.
move on to number 2, which is the Surgeonator. You know him, I believe, the Dallas Rajas, TDC.
My guy, my unit.
Well, I guess since you know him, you can start off.
Okay, he's gonna get rocked by
Wait,
Kim
wait.
Bob. It's not even gonna be remotely close.
Wait,
If I-
I don't see it. wait,
TDC.
No?
DB what?
No,
TDC.
Oh, TDC.
Tadaka.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why am I blind? It's probably not good that I'm blind and I'm the one controlling it.
If only my recording software still works.
I really like it. I won a league that he was in with Valiant and Treads. I think it's like a really
Yeah.
intuitive and easy to pair with top 2. Terra's a Rude, we were talking about a lot. I think it's interesting and I'm really excited to see what it does. It's like definitely decent. I'm not sure it's gonna be amazing, but it's decent. Wash is pretty fine. I'm not happy with my Wash pick. I'm sure he's not super happy with his. I don't think that Pokemon's like incredible anymore in Gen 9, but it's like fine. It does what it wants to do. It's okay. I think Petulant is amazing here. This is the best team for a Petulant to be on ever, and I love Petulant, and I believe in Petulant. It's very aggressively priced at 10. I love the dude.
Yep.
T-Flame's good. Urshifu Rapid is a crazy round 7 to get. It's just unbelievable, and it's
It
really
is.
decent,
I think Rapid Foo isn't necessary, but it's not bad either.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's just like a premium. Like, why not? When you have the points and you're that late into the
Yeah,
draft with
sure.
so many points still.
If you're able to get all the tools you need, and you got a Terra Colossal, which is okay spin, okay hazards, which is it's good. I'm glad that its defensive type is not gonna be fucking Fire Rock with the Terra. But
Yeah, I love Terra Colossal. We've
Yeah.
used that a ton. I've used it before. It's really cool. I used Terra Ice Colossal against Hail, and it just completely world seeds Tyson. It was really fun.
that's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah, I like Whimsicott as well. Whimsicott's just such a... Whimsicott's the Pokemon that really just makes your opponent misplay so much. I found when I had it in TBC, my opponents were like making so many weaker plays just because they were so scared of me going hard Whimsicott and Prankster Encore.
Right.
And yeah, it's really gives you a lot of space. And Valiant's just like completely insane. So yeah, I just realized team. I think this is the best team he's ever drafted personally.
Yeah.
For sure, he's really good.
One of the only issues for
I'm
me
excited to see
with the
this.
team is that like the below Rotom, it's fucking colossal speed tier wise, so everything under Rotom can run offensive nature, which isn't a huge deal, but it might be problematic sometimes.
That's true, but that also means that everything is outspeeding those guys.
Yeah, so that's fair.
Yeah, it just means you have like a ton of initiative with the speed tiers in yours.
Mhm.
Like that's good. I think overall that's more
Like
an
a
advantage
minor,
than
it's
just
a very minor flaw, but I just felt it was like worth mentioning.
Yeah.
I think the more notable flaw is special move against this draft. There's like extremely just a mutually shared weakness, and it's gonna really force Rotom Wash and Zarude into sets they don't want to be. Like there may be a matchup where more offensive Zarude or Wash sets would be really good, but you
Yeah.
still need to go max HP, max Speed F, because otherwise you're just gonna lose to like random Moon Blasts.
Yeah, he
because-
doesn't really have any good special offense.
Yeah, exactly. It's just Valiant, Treads, Petulant and stuff. It's
I
like,
wouldn't call Treads good special offense.
I think
Oh, you said offense? Oh, you have
Special
Valiant,
offense.
you have Valiant, you have Wash, you have Petulant.
Yeah, but those are not like Valve, sure, but Rotom and Petron really prefer to be defensive most of the time, right?
On this draft, that's part of what I was saying, but I think Petulant can absolutely be pretty offensive with nasty plot sets pretty easily.
Fair.
can be. I wish it was.
Especially because they have other physically defensive Pokemon that can cover that.
Mhm.
And Iron Treads is a special one also, is worth mentioning just because it has the power of the moves it's throwing out is like so high that it makes up for the really meager special stats, especially against weaker special
Right.
defensive mons. Like there's a reason the number one OU set in
Is
OU
Steel
is
Beam.
Iron Treads with special, Steel Beam. Because
Yeah.
Steel Beam is a cracked move and it's shutting down a lot of things that would otherwise offer it. But yeah, it's like fine.
I think
I think
most of the like the weird fundamental flaws with the high tiers are just gonna make Terra Colossal have to come a lot, and that's like the only big problem I have with this. I put this at 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna force like that's it. Like it's nearly perfect, but you are forced to be like a bit uncomfortable with Wash and Colossal and Zarude.
Yeah, it's the only other hazard set other than Treads, which is a big
Yeah,
thing.
like if Whimsicott was just like a Florges, you'd just be in like such a comfy spot there.
You're a Forge's lover. That's crazy.
I am. Well, just even Sylveon, anything there. If Whimsicott was just like a more generic, especially defensive fairy,
Yeah.
I think this would be a much easier draft to use.
Perhaps, yeah. We're gonna see a lot of special defensive Terra Fairy Colossal here. It's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah, Terra Poison, Colossal, I love.
Something like that, yeah.
Alright, so let's move on to the final team then. Number 1, we have Ziad and the Montreal Maractus mom page on the dog.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I fucking love this team. Like I was talking to him in the chat as well. Like we both drafted Gouging Fire, and I said like I kind of want Tuska Meow, and then I ended up getting sniped. He didn't, and he got like the fucking best draft ever. I really love him on this team. Like Pterodancy is fucking scary as fuck.
It is.
He has a great spinner. He has a lot of hazard potential. He has a lot of defensive potential, but also like fucking Azelf, Gengar, Meow, Gouging. Like it's just insane draft, honestly. Even Terra Glaceon can be really effective defensively if he wants to.
Yep.
I
This
love
draft
that.
should-
I love that
Sorry,
the top 3 are just pressuring the fuck out of fairies, and then you just have Empoleon, Gengar to just make them want to cry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that
Yeah.
top 3 is just so intuitively strung together for breaking.
Yeah, it
each
just
other's
should never
checks.
happen. These are free.
It shouldn't, it's
these
true.
are free. Arguably round oneable Pokemon.
Yeah.
Meowscarada at absolute minimum should be R2'd.
He
This
did
is
get
like-
first pick, so it's actually
Yeah,
they fucking went back to him on both of them.
it's
That's
unbelievable. It's just it's so completely insane that he got that top 3, and it just makes like, and then he didn't choke that lead at all.
Not at all.
We've seen other people get some really nice pairings early and then just fall off later on in the draft. I like every single Pokemon here. I think they're all good. I've seen them all do work. Squawkabilly, I assume, is kind of mean, but like, other than Squawkabilly, every single Pokemon is so good. Every single Pokemon can come. Glaceon with Terra is absurd value for 2. I really like that a lot.
It can do something early.
I like Gengar. I like Azelf. I think Gengar and Azelf have a bit of awkward overlap, I guess. Their roles... Actually, there's like so much overlap with the adjusting speeds here, and they're both especially offensive little guys. They're both nasty plus sweepers.
Yeah, but I can see why he drafted them though, because like his first 3 mons are all very powerful, but they're all physical. So I guess he just wanted like 2 very good special mons, even if they are pretty similar.
Yeah, that's fair. I just would have liked to like I guess a pairing of 2 with a bit less overlap maybe would have been great. But Azelf frees up Empoleon and Great Tusk as rockers, which is really nice anyway. And you could run you could bring both of them, and then Azelf can be one of its weird Azelf sets, and you don't mind at all. The anti is incredible with Terra. I think it's like really, really, really good.
Yeah,
it is.
Very flexible.
It was 2nd kill leader last season.
Yeah, like for a reason, it just always performs really well. It's always really fun to use, and it's always good.
Yeah.
I like Empoleon. I like everything here. I think it's just all really, really, really good stuff. There's a few like matchup specific things. For example,
literally.
I think Enamorus is like crazy into this draft.
I think generally just fighting types are going to be difficult to switch into, because the only 2 because they have the types where
you're kind of awkwardly stuck. Like Great Tusk is really the only thing that can come in with fighting moves, because you don't really want to risk Azelf and Gengar, because they would just immediately be one shot by the knockoff that every fighting type gets.
Right. So
yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
If this Diancie can run Terra Fairy a lot, which it probably can, and then
it can absolutely.
And then just do that early and be able to be the switch in for certain matchups, it can definitely cover it for sure. I really like that Diancie was drafted without being like pressured to run hazards at all. Like we have 4 rockers here.
Yeah, everything frees up the entire rest of the team in a really nice way. The only thing I think is that Great Tusk being forced to kind of come in on every fighting move might limit that thing's usability a little bit.
Right.
If you're not, as you said, like leading DNT and Terra Fairing right away.
See, but he very well could drop Azelf for like Yuxi, because they're still free, and Yuxi is 1 point cheaper.
Yeah,
so
that'd be good. And then make Squawkabilly a real Pokemon. There's a lot of real Pokemon at free that could be.
Yeah, that could honestly be a good change.
Yeah,
on a team that honestly doesn't need it to win its games.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, make it even better. Like
Yuxi on this team makes it so much better actually, because Gengar is already there.
Yeah, I adore Yuxi in general. I think Yuxi is the best of the trio.
It's such a good utility mode.
It's also so good for screens here.
Mm-hmm.
And something like a Great Tusk behind screens, gouging fire behind screens. Yeah, no, 100% stop Azelf for Yuxi makes Squawkabilly a real 3-pointer. Oh my god, it's even better. And it's like it was already really, really insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yuxi is just like the Jesus of support mons for offense.
I love Yuxi. I love it so much. I've never ever in my entire life regretted drafting Yuxi. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great. This is just an amazing team. It's gonna be
I love it.
Easy playoffs for sure.
All right. So anyone have anything left to say?
I think I'm good.
No.
All right. Then I thank you all very much for your time. And this has been the FBL Season 10 Legendary Drafts or Power Rankings. I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao.
Really
Bye,
bad
everybody.
outro. Just not good enough. No.
Fuck off,
Yeah, fuck you. Horrible outro.